Everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I normally don't complain a lot about aftermarket parts because the aftermarket world on some of these cars is beginning to be all we have left after we run out of NOS parts. Myself, I'm getting low on NOS door moldings. I ordered a set of Dan Carpenter reproduction GT door moldings. And for those of you that order those, you know they fit like absolute shit. First of all, I had to get 3 passenger side door moldings before I got one that wasn't melted on the end where it meets up to the ground effect. Finally got a set that looks pretty good. Really impressed. They started using the aluminum backing on the GT moldings. I don't know how long they've been doing that, maybe for a while. So I brought them down, started cleaning up passenger side, scuffed it down, sanded it down, cleaned up the fronts, got them looking really good. I have the passenger side door molding next to an NOS passenger side door molding. I have 1 set left, but I was saving those for the teal car. So I'll compare them outside and I'll show you why these reproduction door moldings fit like ass. So let me show you real quick. So the top molding is an NOS paint to match door moldings. In the later years when Ford released those, they were all paint to match. They didn't come body color like they did from the factory. So this one up here is a Ford door molding. This is reproduction. Now, you got little spots like this in the reproduction molding that I'm going to clean up. I already did the top one. And so I went ahead and stuck it up against the door. The back on this one, pretty good. Got it trimmed up, cleaned up best I could. This is the Ford one. You see how nice and tight that is. But, so when you flip these over, the Ford one is aluminum strip like it's supposed to have. It's all one piece like it's supposed to be. Up in here in the front, looks good. You flip over but Aftermarket. Now, I've already pulled the aluminum strip off the Aftermarket because this is going to be my only option to fix this. So I'm trying to show you guys, if you're doing GT moldings, this is what you're going to have to do. So, I don't know how well you can see, but right here where the aluminum strip sits right here, this is molded from here to there at an angle. Kind of like, I don't know, like this, instead of sitting flat like it would sit on the door. So when you put the molding on the door, it hits the bottom half first. And with that aluminum strip, there's no way to bend this molding to let it set flush. If you know what I'm saying. There's no way to get it to set flat on the door. So this is the other Aftermarket passenger or driver side molding. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So when you set it up to the door like this, you see the gap you have right there? It hits this part right here first. And from about the middle to the top of that tape, it doesn't even touch the door. So maybe if you heated it up to 200 degrees and you can get it where it's super limber and maybe you're Superman, you could make it work. But from what I'm seeing, from what I'm seeing on these moldings right here, it comes up like this at an angle. It's like a ramp. So this bottom part hits first and it doesn't allow the top to even touch. So what I did was I'm going to pull the strip off, which I already did the top one. I'm going to leave the bottom aluminum. It's pretty straight. It's not angled at all. Said this is an OEM door molding right here. It's straight all the way across, no angle. So the tape's going to hit. Shitty reproduction. You can see how just right here, the gap should be flat because it's flat right here. All the way across, not flat here. So what I'm going to do, pull the strip off. I'm going to take this material off down through here, all the way to that. And then I'm going to smooth it up, paint it, and tape it, and hope that it works. So, this is my daily vent. Companies, please, if you're making these damn parts, get somebody, I don't care who it is, that builds Fox bodies or test fit the shit before you make it. Because I know for a fact, a lot of us guys are just getting tired of spending hard-earned money on parts that fit like shit. Glass runs don't fit, channel runs don't fit. Power door locks last for 2 or 3 days and they go out and they ain't worth the shit. Now I know you gotta say, well, we gotta price them accordingly. We can't charge $200 for whatever. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna spend probably 6 hours fixing these door moldings. I'd much rather pay $400 for a perfect set of door moldings that actually fit the damn car versus messing with this shit, spending 6 hours trying to make it look right. So that's my frustration. I'll clean these up, and then once I'm done, I'll let you guys check it out and let me know. All right, so I'm about an hour in now. So what I did was I took a razor blade. That little bit of material was probably 1/8 inch thick, maybe more, that was preventing the tape from setting flat on the door. What I did was I cut all that from one end to the next completely off the door. I sanded it with 80 grit, then 220, then scuffed it, then took some real strong paint thinner on a rag, and it actually looks pretty good. But like I said, about an hour in now. Show you what I'm talking about real quick. All right, so this is the material that I cut off to allow the tape to all the way down from one end to the other. It's on the floor and pretty much everywhere. So like I said, I got it all nice and flat. It looks really good. I put it up against the door. I'll walk over to the passenger side. Like I said, I hate to vent and be that kind of guy, but I got this car looking really, really good. And stuff like this, I know you guys are like, oh, you know, quit complaining, quit bitching, you know, just do what you got to do, whatever. But my point is, a lot of guys out there spend hard-earned money on these parts. They don't fit, or they take them to a body shop, and the body shop doesn't know how they're supposed to fit. And you get your car back, 3 weeks later, your door moldings are falling off. I did see where one guy that does YouTube, he puts his shit on with window urethane door moldings. Now, granted, they ain't ever coming off, but it's not the right way to do it. Double back tape's the right way to do it. And if they're fitting like this, I can see maybe he's using urethane to fill in the gap. Maybe, I don't know, but that's not right. So I'll show you what it looks like on the other side. Fits pretty good now. So we'll walk around this here. Like I said, this is the passenger side. I got it now where when it goes up there, you see how nice and tight and how flat that molding fits now. I'm trying to do this with one hand, so look how good that fits now. No gap. It's nice and tight. This way it's supposed to. So again, sorry to make a rant video. I normally don't do this. But guys, I've been building these cars for 30 years and I've used 4 parts on most of my stuff. And I'm just running out of NOS stuff. Now I'm suffering like everybody else does and has to put up with this reproduction shenanigans or bullshit or whatever you want to call it. But I've used some of the stuff, like the lower window trims. That shit's junk. It's Ford tooling, but the plastic they make is so flimsy it's unreal. It ain't nothing like the factory stuff. Yeah, it's all we got if we don't have NOS stuff, but some of these manufacturers need to just go back to the drawing board, find some NOS parts, make new tooling, make the stuff right, make it fit. I'll walk around the car real quick. So this is what the thing looks like. It's turning out amazing. This wing, I'm gonna paint the bumper and the door moldings. So for me to just, I don't know, for me to just put shit on there that just half-ass fits, it would make this car look like ass. So again, sorry for using ass and shit and whatever, but just frustrated. It's just been one of those days. Again, okay, so psych on you guys for watching the rest of this video. I do apologize. I was going to post a video, but I calmed down a little bit. I spent about, I don't know, I think I got 6 hours, 4 or 6 hours in these door moldings. So the process was, when they make these aftermarket door moldings, the metal strip on the lower part of the door molding is actually underneath the urethane. So in order to remove that aluminum strip off the door molding to make it sit flush on the door, I had to sand it down with 80 grit down to the aluminum strip. Then I had to heat the strip up, peel it off the molding. Then I had to sand that whole part because it also was sitting at an angle when you put it on the door. So I had to sand all that completely flat, just like the factory ones are. Now, mind you, the factory ones, they're not perfect either. But these here, they're, if you buy these door moldings, I've got one painted, I've got it on the car. It does look amazing. Now, I'll tell you, if you just paint these moldings, you take them to a body shop and they try to put them on the car, they're going to look like total shit. I haven't put the passenger side one on. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you the 3M tape that I'm using. I use the white 3M tape, not the black. Ford used white double-sided tape on these, not black. To me, if you're doing an OEM restoration, It looks the best. It's also, the white is some sticky shit. It's way stickier than the black stuff. It is kind of expensive. This roll I bought cost me 80 bucks. That was body shop price, so I'd hate to see what it's costing now on the street. I used adhesion promoter. I sanded the molding smooth with 80 grit to cut it down flat. Then I used 220 to smooth it up. Then I went back over it with some really hard lacquer thinner. We got down in Kentucky, they sell real paint thinner here. So if y'all on the West Coast, like I used to be, this paint thinner up back east, it's the shit now, let me tell you what. So I smoothed it up with paint thinner. It turned it nice, clean plastic or urethane looking nice and smooth, no sanding marks in it. Then I put adhesion promoter on top of that. And then I put the 2K, or not 2K, sorry, the double-sided tape. Now we'll tell you, also heated the door molding with the heat gun before I put the adhesion promoter on. And when you put the, like right now outside, I think it's 65 degrees. I always try to heat my doors up. I've got a big propane turbo heater I'll put on the paint, get the paint probably about to 80 degrees so the door's nice and hot. I think that's the biggest mistake people make. They don't make sure it's warm enough before they put these moldings on. And the biggest problem is these damn door moldings. Like I said, the LX moldings, I have put several sets of those on. They fit really good. These new GT moldings, they ain't worth the shit out of the wrapper. I hate to keep harping on that, but maybe one of the powers that be that make these moldings will watch this video and make them right, so you guys that buy them don't spend a ton of money. Yeah, I looked at the thing, they're only 136 bucks for the pair. I see why now. But if you took these to a body shop and you wanted them to look like I have them looking on my car, you're going to spend 3 times that at a body shop getting them to fit right. So without further ado and flapping my gums, let me show you what the door molding looks like. All right, so first off, this is the white 3M. You see how I can't even get my fingers off of it? That's the white 3M. That's the part number. Double-sided tape, which is what I use. Comes in a big roll. You could probably do 2 or 3 LX cars with these. So, you know, 80 bucks isn't that bad when you can do a whole car. This is the door molding. This is the adhesion promoter I used. It's got a little like a bingo dauber. Worked really well. I put it on there. I let it set up till it was sticky on the back of the molding. Then I heated the door molding up a little bit with my old trusty Harbor Freight Bauer there, my new one. I got it heated up. Look, I can pick the door molding up with the double-sided tape now. That's crazy. So if you see how nice and smooth, how flat that door molding is, before it was angled up like that, and this part of the door molding was hitting. It was actually concaved. It was like, it went like that. So it was hitting here first, and it wouldn't allow the molding to even touch the door from about here all the way up. So now I got it nice and flat like a factory door molding on both sides. Got the tape ready to go on. So I'll flip it over. Bam. Turned out really nice. Now guys, I used 2K on top of the rubber urethane with flex agent. I put flex agent in my primer, paint, and clear coat. I can't stress that enough when you do it working on urethane parts. So what's it look like on the car? Awesome. So this is what it's supposed to look like. This is after about 6. You see the nice white double back tape? You see how tight that door molding fits now? Nice clean gap all the way down. Now, the fitment, you guys will see this little gap right here. This is OEM. I've got a car I'll walk outside and show you. Now, it is a little bit shorter. I say maybe an 1/8 of an inch shorter than a factory NOS molding. They make them short, so when you open the door, this molding doesn't get caught on the fender right here. They do the same thing with the LX moldings. When I put them on, I do them just like factory. I'll bring the door molding up to the edge of the door and then run it forward. Now, as far as getting them straight, I'll walk around the other side of the car. There's my big propane heater. Had it running, getting this. I'll hang a piece of tape from the back molding all the way to the front. I'm old school. Then I'll peel the backing off the double-sided tape, and I'll start with the top. I don't even try to walk the bottom part yet. I do the top first. I'll make sure it's all the way straight. Then once I got the top stuck, I'll pull the tape off the bottom and then put the bottom on. Works really well. So let's walk outside real quick. Hopefully it ain't raining too much. I'll show you these OEM door moldings. So this one's kind of rough on this door. This is an original door molding. You see how it fits right here, even with that. And then you go up here and you got this big old gap between Now see, it's a little bit longer than the factory ones. I'm curious to see how much longer the passenger side one is, the Repo. We'll see how that works out. So, excuse the junk. Fox Junk's the name, Fox Junk's the channel. So all I got is Fox Junk sitting around here. So if you watched the whole video, kind of apologize a little bit for stringing y'all along. I just wanted you to see what these door moldings look like on the car, how they turned out painted. Again, that's a lot of work for some door moldings. If you're going to go have your car restored, try to take your original ones off the best you can without messing up the aluminum backing. I've got a video on how I take them off. It's a little sketchy, but that's how I do it. I didn't have door moldings for this car. These doors came off an LX. If you watch my previous videos, this car was basically the roof, suspension, the quarter panels, and that's all I got with this car. So the doors are off a red LX, the fenders are off a red LX, and the hood's off a red LX. But it's performance red now, or whatever you guys want to call it. Again, thanks for watching the channel. Sorry to keep stringing y'all along on this one. I apologize. They turned out phenomenal with a lot of work. Sometimes that's what you have to do with these parts. Aftermarket stuff is just aftermarket. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Question in the comments below, or foxjunk73@gmail.com. Appreciate y'all watching. Have a good day. Okay, so just one last thing. Sorry to hold you up. Got the passenger side on, and it is longer than the driver's side. So check this out. It's not a lot longer, but it's just like factory. We walk to the other side. See the difference in the gap? So, to manufacturers, work on the gap. Driver's side moldings a little bit too short. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Have a good day.